quality is lower than normal. Just keep that in mind. But nothing's going to change. The bets are going to keep coming. The Patreon wins are going to keep coming. Let's get this money. I'm really excited for week 9. I appreciate everyone waiting in the chat for me. I mean, I think it's a huge week, and I'm not trying to be over dramatic because there's a lot of weeks left. There's a lot of playoffs to be played even after these regular season. But week 9 is when shit gets serious and we need to start cooking. On Patreon, this will be reflected on how many bets I have this week. This week, I think I'm going to go just 3 strong. I'm going to put up the 4-team teaser, but I'm going 3 strong and I'm swinging hard in all 3 of them. Just giving everyone an update. And I want to say thank you guys. Thank Rich. What's up, Dirty Sanchez? What's up, Cliff? Let's get it, Cliff. Sports betting for beginners. All right, I'll answer this question since he was in here first. What do you say on this 5-leg parlay? Chargers -2. I'm a little bit nervous about the Chargers, but the Chargers should rebound. Patriots -2.5. I like it. The more this week goes on, the more I do think the Patriots find a way to cover that game. Raiders -3. I think that's risky, but Saquon Barkley's out, so Raiders should get that one. Although this game is set up for the Raiders to blow it with everything that's happening. I will say that. Raiders should get it done, though. Bills money line, yeah. Cowboys money line, I get it. I think I would substitute that Cowboys money line or Bills money line. That's where I'm at. I don't think the Bills are going to get upset, and frankly, I don't think the Cowboys are going to lose to the Broncos. I just think there's more automatic picks if you want to go money line that direction. What's up, Brian? Thank you, Jason. I had to go a little bit of that like Miami vibe. I had to get the Cuban, and then you need like the Miami type shirt to match. Marcy, what is that intro song you play? It is by a man named Connection. He hasn't released a song officially yet. In a lot of the description links, like go to the week 8 videos, I do put in a link to his channel. He has some really good music, man. He hasn't released a song officially on YouTube. That's why I haven't been able to share it. Some like it, some hate it, some love it a lot. It seems to garner love or hate. What's up, Tasha? How's it going? Trees Out guy, what's his 3 games that he's betting on? Well, you're gonna just have to wait until Patreon. I will be posting those on Patreon at 10, about 10 tonight. Thank you, Paul. That's the best decision you ever made in your life. I mean, but for $5, and if you look at the record this year from week 1 to now, it's definitely worth it, man. And I work hard with you. Al Curry, keep riding with the Niners. I mean, it seems like everyone is coming around on the Niners this week. Last week, I don't want to say I was the only one, but even in the media, people were very cautious about the 49ers. You guys were pretty cautious about the 49ers, but that was my money pick of the week. That was the one I had the most certainty in. But like, let's be real. The 49ers have been an inconsistent team this year, and it's been a problem, man. It's been nothing but a problem due to their inconsistency. So, but yes, they should win this game. Especially one thing you guys need to look at is you guys need to remember last year with the Arizona Cardinals. I don't like talking about things like last year and that type of stuff. I actually hate that stuff. But one relevant thing last year is to look at how Kyler Murray played before he tweaked his ankle and how he played after. A large part of Kyler Murray's downfall last year, he had a really bad second half. Most of it was due to injuries. And I think if you give him a hurt ankle, I think it changes things more than other quarterbacks. Not because Kyler Murray runs a lot. It's because he's so good at maneuvering in the pocket. He maneuvers like a rabbit, yet he's able to sling the thing 50 yards while floating back without even setting his feet. He's absolutely ridiculous. But the problem is against this good 49ers front, last year's games, this year's game. He has to scramble an excessive amount. This offensive line, they're better than they were before, but they're not a great unit. They're not a good unit, and you can push them back. And you're going to see Kyler. The bull rush is going to be a problem for him this game, man. And this 49ers team has one of the best bull rushes in the league, and they're going to be pushing that big offensive line back. That's a huge issue for Kyler Murray, because he's 5'8", 5'8 and a half, 5'9". I wouldn't give him 5'9". Because I'm 5'10", and look at how tiny I look. Not tiny wide-wise, but tiny when I'm standing. Imagine Kyler Murray being 5'8 and a half and having a bull rush push back on you, and you don't have that quickness to roll to the right, roll to the left. The thing with Kyler Murray, he's even good when he's rolling to the left, which most right-hand quarterbacks aren't. He's good at both, but I don't think that's going to be a factor this game. This game's, we can focus on Garoppolo versus Murray, and I think that's what a lot of people want to do. But I'm focusing more on the San Francisco defense. And if you look at that second quarter goal of the first game between these two this year, look at how many great passes Kyler Murray completed, contested passes, dimes. He dropped 5 dimes in one drive. Okay, that can get you worried about the 49ers, but I wasn't worried, because they were playing good, consistent defense, and great players are going to make plays in this league. That's just how it is. But the 49ers defense looks like they're getting better. They completely took over that second half against the Chicago Bears. They didn't look good in the first half against Fields, but we can give Fields a little bit of credit for that performance. Make sure you guys hit the like button. When you get in here, smash that like button. Smash that like button. And if you hate me, hit the dislike button. I know I got a lot of hate watchers. Yeah, Mike, I was thinking about this. We're going to get the Carolina Panther fan on, Michael, later. We'll talk about it more in depth, but yeah, dude, I actually had to change the pick. That's why in the opening monologue, I did feel like Patriots -3.5 the play. I mean, Carolina is so unpredictable, and then we're seeing Darnold might even start, and we know PJ Walker's not going to offer a lot. Maybe he can offer a little bit. So I'm going to get to the Patreon questions, then we'll work back to the YouTube questions. Make sure you guys turn on your notifications. That's another thing. Since I will be outside of the United States for the foreseeable future, YouTube will hurt my algorithm. So make sure you share the videos, like the videos, and that's so important. You guys support me really well. Here we go. Let me get some questions. Mike Rogers. Hey, John, I know you're not big into parlays, but I always place one every Sunday to go along with my single game bets. What do you think about this for value? San Fran +3. I like it. Rams money line. I like it. Chargers money line. That's a bit risky. Chargers should get it done. Patriots money line. They should get it done. Ravens money line. I like that. I don't see any sort of surprise punch coming from the Vikings, but then again, they show up different every week. Cowboys money line is good. Bills money line is good. The only ones I would look at in that list is Chargers money line to see maybe if you could find something a wee bit safer. I think on Patreon you will see a suggestion that I have that is quite a bit safer. Just wait until tonight. This is from Josh Belay. Hey, John, what do you think about the Giants +3 and the Falcons +6.5? I was leaning Raiders until the news of Henry Ruggs broke, and I think it'll play a mental factor. I think it'll play a mental factor too. And I'm just asking, Josh, here's the problem with the Giants. We knew they had a good defense early last year, way before the public. Now the public at least knows the Giants have a good defense after that Chiefs game. But Daniel Jones has to show up, and I don't know if he's going to show up. And honestly, Josh, I've moved off the Daniel Jones bandwagon, and I'm going to eat crow. I judge quarterbacks better than any analyst on YouTube. I will say that honestly. I'm not saying it braggadociously. I will say that honestly, and you look at my track record. And also, I want to call someone out on Patreon, Ryan. Seriously, like, bro. I didn't even place any bets. I told you I was leaning towards the Jets plus 10. Does that mean bet it? No, I didn't bet it. So I mean, like, lay off, man. And also you can just leave the Patreon too as well, because I have to work. I have to have a little bit of flamboyance. I have to have a little bit of creativity. I have to have the balls to make a bet. I know how much money is on my Patreon page. Do you need to tell me how much money is placed every weekend just based on what happens on my Patreon page? Do you need to tell me that people rely on my Patreon to play bills? You don't need to tell me that. It's dead fucking serious. I'm dead serious every minute. And if you're questioning me, get off. It's that simple. Listen, they got subscription services over $100. My record's better than them. The ones they advertise on NFL, Las Vegas odds, on Vegas Insider, my record's better than them. And I charge $5 a month. $5 a month. Plus, I come on here and do the videos every single week. So I don't really know what you're coming at, man. And you could turn on the webcam and you could actually come at me instead of just writing snidey comments. Like, I just hate the snidey comments. It's okay to be critical. I understand that. But like snidey comments, like the passive aggressive stuff, it's just junk when you know you can come on here and face me, but you won't. You won't come on here and say it. And that's one thing that is rather frustrating about the internet sometimes, because listen, I have fun doing this. I just don't like reading like passive aggressive comments when you can just come on here and say it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah. Anyways, Julian, John, what do you think about this teaser? Broncos plus 16. I like it. But we've been seeing, man, even with the double-digit teasers, some of these teams are so bad they have trouble covering. Like even the Jets plus 17 last night. We needed a borderline miracle for that to hit. That's why I said don't put that one on your teaser, only if you're looking for some action on Thursday. Okay, but Broncos plus 16 should cover, and I think they'll play rather well. I don't think they'll play great against the Cowboys. Cowboys will probably smoke them, but plus 16 you can cover in this league. Ravens pick them. Yeah, I like it. I don't think you're going to see anything miraculous out of the Vikings. Although, like I did say earlier, they show up differently every week. Bills minus 8.5, Pats plus 2.5. Bills minus 8.5. Yeah, I like it. It's that Bills one. We don't know if the Jaguars are ever going to show up. And I missed. And here's the thing about that Bills game. Bills offense isn't as good as it was last year. And that's one thing I've been noticing the last 3 or 4 weeks. I'm a little bit concerned that the Bills aren't getting Stephon Diggs the ball. Now, I'm not saying the Jags are going to play good, because after Seattle last week, I understand, man. I was frustrated with the way the Jags came out because they didn't even come out to win the game. So with the Bills, they should be able to cover that. But Bills aren't as good on offense. This is Adam716. My picks, Houston, Miami. Thank you for the donation, Adam. My picks, Houston, Miami, under 45. With Tyrod Taylor back, I get it, but I think that one might push over. Rams minus 7. Yeah, I like it. The Titans should be able to keep that close, but we'll see what type of attitude the Rams are in. I don't like that Rams minus 7 as much as other people, because I don't know how to gauge the Rams attitude this week. Some people might be able to gauge it better than me. It's just hard because the Rams have been playing so many weak and bogus teams. San Fran plus 3. I like it. Chicago plus 7. Like it. And Adam, no problem. I love putting in the hard work. Sometimes I will go off on people, but it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's just, sometimes I like to go off too, but it's nothing personal. I really want that guy to come on though, and I will treat him with the full respect if he does. I did comment him, and let's see if he comes on the show. I don't think he will. But yeah, this is from Matt Jamma. Hey Lawson, great job with all the content you provide us, man. Thank you, Matt Jamma. Your thoughts on 49ers getting a W against the Cardinals? Also, do you believe the Chiefs can cover the spread versus a Rodgers-less Packers? Whew. Okay, let's get to that Chiefs-Packers game. So I'll get to Dirty Sanchez's super chat after that. Appreciate it, bro. So I want to talk about this right now. So it fits in good. I don't think Jordan Love's any good. And we haven't seen a lot out of him. And a lot of you guys watch preseason and you guys follow this league as much as me. So you guys might have seen different film from me, but I have watched 3 of his preseason games, 3 performances. And one was really good, 2 were subpar, but we can't judge preseason. But at least he does get the Chiefs defense. For me, I think this game is something you got to pound. It's one you should think about pounding money line. I don't think Green Bay is going to put the upset in here. And some people are putting that out there. They're saying LaFleur is going to have a very creative game plan. We know Devontae Adams is coming back, but I actually think the Packers have more problems than reinforcements. Like for instance, Bakhtiari will probably miss this game. They've been without him for a while. They're still without Jair Alexander. Don't think he will come back in this game. I just don't think the Packers have enough dogs, and they're not going to get good quarterback play. And when we're analyzing the Packers, can we go back to that Arizona Cardinals versus Packers game on Thursday night? Aaron Rodgers played 100 out of 100 games. The separation wasn't there on the receivers, and you saw how many easy catches that receiving core dropped. Now imagine with Love in here. Now I know the Cardinals defense is better than the Chiefs defense, but come on, the Chiefs defense, they're going to come out and at least play physical, and they're going to try to scare Love. I think they have an opportunity to do that. I really do. I really do. With the 7.5, it gets complicated, especially because it's the Chiefs, and we know they don't like covering. But that should be one people think about money line. Money line isn't sexy. It's not going to double your money. It's not going to do anything like that. But sometimes it is a good security option if your bankroll is a little bit higher. Like the Chiefs minus 7.5 has too many questions for me. But if you're telling me, all right, Chiefs going to win this game by more than 3.5, 3 points, yeah, they will. Even though people are really low on the Chiefs right now, and that Giants performance was worrisome. I'm not going to come out here and say I didn't watch that Giants game. I watched every minute of it, and I suffered through it quite a bit. And I do think the league, I think it's more like this. I don't think the league's catching up to Mahomes. I just think he's not getting the luck. At the end of the day, when you throw it up with 2 defenders and 1 wide receiver, you do need a little bit of luck, no matter how much of a dog your wide receiver or tight end is, and no matter how well you put that ball on target, eventually you're going to lose those jump balls. And Pat Mahomes throws 3 of them a game. He's kind of like Brett Favre in that way. He is becoming that way where he's throwing 3 or 4 jump balls a game. And sometimes you need to take those chances, but when they don't go your way, it's a good way to get your team behind. I don't think we see big plays out of the Packers defense this game. I don't see the Packers offense getting over 20 as well, even against a really weak Chiefs defense. Let's get to the next game. Yeah, and I was feeling that Giants plus 10 all week. Couldn't pull the trigger on it because sometimes I get tired of betting bad teams. And people do notice I bet more bad teams than most. And then the second part of your question, Mac Jamma, yeah, I do like the 49ers. I do like the 49ers to win. I think they have to win this game. I'm not even talking standings, playoffs, because, yeah, they need a win for the standings and the playoffs. I think the NFC West is a distant dream for the 49ers, but that doesn't make a difference because now it's November. Now is when you need to peak. And here's something you guys are going to notice in November. And here's something you guys should adapt your holistic approach to betting. In November, physicality starts taking over. Great players start picking up their game. You even saw it with Rodgers last week against the Cardinals. That was the best game I've seen Rodgers play in a long time. The stats don't say it, but look at that film. This is when the good players, the great teams get moving. This is when the more physical teams start taking over. This is when you start seeing more surprises just due to physicality versus physicality. If you don't come out and punch someone in the mouth in this league, you're going to lose. It doesn't matter if you're the Houston Texans. It doesn't matter if you're the Buccaneers. If you don't come out and want to physically maul someone, you're going to lose in this league. week. And that's one thing we're going to start seeing. And we're going to start seeing the teams with the good offensive line, with the good defensive line start taking over more, because there's only so much you can do to scheme. Yeah, scheme is important with pass blocking. Scheme is important with protecting your quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's about a bunch of big, bad guys trying to rip the soul and rip the will out of the defensive line. And that's one reason why, I'll tell you what, everything points to the Bengals. We've won so much money this year with the Bengals. They've been nothing but generous and good to us. But you want to know what? I won't be betting the Bengals. I won't be betting that game. But something tells me there's a sinking suspicion that somehow the Browns pull out that game against the Bengals. Thank you. Thank you, Dreezy88, for the generous donation. I think that's 70 Canadian dollars. Wow, thank you, man. I appreciate the generosity. My man, I said if I hit 4 or 5 last week, I donate $3 to you, broski. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but I appreciate you. Humble beginnings, my man. I'm in BC, Canada, but moving to Medellin, Colombia. Let's get it. Appreciate it, bro. And you won't regret it, man. South America, it does take a little time to get used to, but I think it's for the better. And it's not for everyone. But listen, I loved living in Florida. I love to get in the sun. I love being near the beach. And unfortunately, in the United States, if you want to live near the beach, you got to be a damn near billionaire. We're not even talking millions. Like, you need like legit millions. You need an NFL contract to get that type stuff. So for me, yeah, man, I think it'll be good for you. And Clint Richardson, I'm in Panama. Panama's awesome, man. Really good people too, and that's something I can't understate. The people are really good. Never been to Panama, but I've actually met people from Panama. Know tons of Colombians, really good people. Let's get to the next question. Sam Mufoloto, that under wasn't even close. Yeah, bro, because I didn't bet the Jets on the under. I just told you, dude, I just went on. I was talking about the Thursday night game. I even said it. Thursday night, most of the time, 80% of Thursday night games are designed for degenerate gamblers. Sometimes we have a read, but like I told you guys, don't get too spoiled. Yeah. Remember when we had Case Keenum against the Broncos? Yeah, we were able to exploit that, but it's hard to exploit prime time. And that's why most of the time I don't bet it. I just make suggestions on prime time. I want nothing to do with it 85 to 90% of the time. This is from Johnny Gonzalez. What's up, Johnny? Thank you for supporting me. What's up, J-Law? I like doing small bet lottery parlays where the likelihood I won't hit, but if they do, it's a nice payout. I think it's a good thing to have every weekend, only as an exercise, not your gravy train. I do parlays and teasers more as an exercise than my actual gravy train. Okay, let me get to Johnny's question. I like Chargers -1.5. I like it too. I am getting a little bit scared with what I saw of the Eagles last week, but I got to say, Chargers at -1.5, I like it, but Herbert has to respond, and that Philly defense is better than people think. Patriots -3.5. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that direction, especially with what's going on with Darnold. But even if Darnold starts, how much is he going to even do against the Patriots defense? This should be a game Carolina's in, but we'll talk more about the Carolina game later. But that's enough for my opinion. You got Texans, Browns, and Bears. Listen, Johnny, I think that Dolphins-Texans ones is really interesting, especially now that Tyrod Taylor's going to start. You saw that actually move the line. And I've been saying that and prefacing every game with the Houston Texans, with when Tyrod comes back, we need to take a view at this team. And I know it's not going to be good for my ratings or views on YouTube, but we got to look at the Houston Texans a little bit. Miami's been playing better, and they've been losing by silly mistakes. Yes, we won a ton of money betting the Jags against the Dolphins, but look, can we be honest? The Dolphins lost that game more than the Jags won it. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, although that was part of the bet. Dolphins really should have beat the Falcons. They made so many mistakes. They ended up being behind 20-7 and then lost the game with a late field goal. And the Dolphins came in and they played extremely physical against the Bills last week. And say what you will about the Bills and how they're performing, But I'm telling you what, Miami came in and they gave the Bills a run for their money. If they had a better quarterback, even a slightly better quarterback, a Fitzpatrick tier, a Case Keenum tier, a Cam Newton tier, they might have been able to steal that game. Really, that's what the film is saying to me. So this Texans Miami one's extremely difficult, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because yes, Tosh is writing in the comment section, Tyrod is garbage. Yes, but Tyrod's better than Davis Mills. Sometimes we need to redefine the garbage because some of the quarterback play in this league is so poor at times. But yeah, if I had to go, I would go with the Texans. If it's at +6, I see it working down closer to 5, though, bro. So watch that. Browns. I actually do like the Browns with the upset, and I do like the Bears. Oh, which one of the 3 dogs do you like money line? Browns. Browns. I don't think the Bears will be able to do it money line, but maybe that's just respect for Mike Tomlin coming out. And listen, also, this show is good, man. And you remember the caller who came on last week, the guy who had all the shoes in the back. He's like, Lawson, I ride with you, but Pittsburgh +4. And he was right about it. And it was really good analysis. And sometimes you sleep on some teams, and you never want to sleep on a good coach in this league. Mike Tomlin is a good coach. Whether we liked what he achieved with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Big Ben, I thought like they should have achieved more, but that roster was never top 5, even when they expected Mike Tomlin to win the Super Bowl. And that's one thing people kept forgetting. And it was amazing he was able to keep Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown on the field. I don't know how he was able to do it. Packers. I'm curious to see that. Yeah, I mean, Shannon, that Patriots Carolina game, we're going to get Michael on, but I mean, that really should be low scoring. But you would think maybe the Jets and Colts wouldn't be a shootout, right? I mean, turn into a pure shootout. Johnny Gonzalez says, I also have some leans for the UFC. Kamaru Usman. Yeah, Usman is nasty. But Colby Covington, he's nasty too. I mean, I've been waiting for that rematch for a long time. I'm just watching that as a fan. I have been riding the Kamaru Usman train a lot. I'm getting off of it this week because both of those guys are too damn good for me to choose one. But you're probably right. I would go Usman if I had to choose. Yeah, dude. And I love Chandler against Gaethje this week. And I don't want to talk too much UFC, but yeah, Thug Rose, I think she's going to win again. And honestly, that last fight, I kind of like legit started tearing up when she won that. I don't know why, but the way she won it, I wouldn't bet on Thug Rose though this time. I agree with Chandler and Usman though. Josh Belay, best bet of the week is Buffalo Bills over 31.5 points. I think they cover the spread, but this seems like a safer bet. Lock it in. I don't even want to touch that. If they want to, they'll score over 31.5, but I don't know. And they're not even getting the ball to Stephon Diggs. They're not getting the ball to Stephon Diggs enough, and I was quite concerned about it. I'm not a big Emmanuel Sanders guy either. I'm a big Cole Beasley guy. I'm a big Stephon Diggs guy. But if you take Dawson Knox out of that Bills offense, I'm not sure if he's coming back this week. I feel like they are missing one dog on the outside. Am I wrong? Because we're judging the Bills as Super Bowl contenders, not as someone who's going to come in and beat Urban Meyer and the Jags. On the Jags secondary, I do agree with some of the comments I'm seeing. Jags secondary is better than people think. Completely agree, especially Shaquille Griffin. He's nasty. Okay, let me get to some more Patreon questions. Guys, make sure you hit the like button and please turn on your notifications. I will be moving locales. As you guys knew that was coming down the pipeline. YouTube will try to do it with the algorithm. They already started. You see what happened this week. People are saying they're not seeing my videos on YouTube anymore. It's just make sure you turn on the notifications. Go to my Instagram. I always keep you guys updated on Instagram. Lawson Bets NFL. Good question. They haven't released the injury report. I was checking for the Jags Bills injury report earlier today. Wasn't able to find it. Here we go. Let's get to some more Patreon questions. Jonathan Yim. Hi, John, new member. Thanks for all the help so far. Any thoughts on the San Francisco-Arizona game? Yeah, I have a ton of thoughts. I think San Francisco's the more physical team. I think they're able to get the play action going. And I think Kyler Murray's performance is going to be severely affected by injuries. Now, a lot of times injuries can be fluff. They can be smokescreen. They can be meant to distract. I don't think this Kyler Murray one is a distraction. Last year when he did his ankle, the play fell off a staggering amount. It was absolutely crazy. It was absolutely crazy, bro. And so that's where I'm at. I think San Francisco starts peaking in November. Maybe I'm getting too excited about that second half against the Bears. And you can say so, because I haven't wavered on the 49ers all year, even with the injuries, even with Jimmy G pissing me off. I would prefer Nance to come in and get a shot, but hell, at least you got Jimmy G, and he's not going to do anything too wild. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. YTC. Thank you. Turn on your notifications. Okay, I'll take this question. +10 on the Niners and Giants for the play. I wouldn't put the +10 on the Giants. I would put it on a different team, but I would go +10 on the 49ers. I'm going to get to the YouTube questions. Let me just keep getting through the Patreons. And thank you for everyone who joined the Patreon and who subscribed here. What's up, Leo? What's up, my man? Money Law, your perfect week is coming. Bengals -2.5. What do you think? Leo, I'm a little bit nervous about the Bengals this game because the Bengals have been good on defense, but something about that Jets performance rubbed me the wrong way. And I do think Cleveland's going to start getting better. I actually think getting rid of Odell Beckham was the right move. They're not using him. Baker Mayfield doesn't like criticism. Case Keenum probably should be the dude there. But either way, they got a great offensive line, and Kevin Stefanski is going to take this out of Baker's hands. I think Cleveland runs the ball better than Cincinnati. We know Cincinnati's passing offense has more big play potential. It has more verb, it has more energy, and simply Joe Burrow is better than Baker Mayfield. But I don't think we're going to see anything too special. I don't think we're going to see anything too special out of Cincy's offense. And they're an offense, when they're in rhythm, they can go 4 straight possessions with 4 straight touchdowns. But when they're out of rhythm, even against Detroit, they had 4 straight possessions with a punt. This was early in the game when the score was close. So sometimes the Bengals are being a little bit overrated, but when you make money on a team, that's when the bandwagon starts, and we made money on the Bengals. You can't say we didn't. This is from PJ Mallet. Chargers -2 at Philly seems too easy. It does seem too easy. It does seem too easy, PJ. And that's why I have to not read the comments sometimes. And I do think people felt like maybe I was hiding because I wasn't on Instagram a lot Sunday, Monday. I've kind of just been trying to watch more film instead of being on Instagram, even though I love talking to you guys. But you guys know it can suck into your time. It can suck into your minutes, can suck into your rhythm and flow. Let's be realistic. Yeah, the Chargers one was a no-brainer to me. And those of you who've been following since the beginning of the season, I've really liked me some Eagles. I just don't like the coaching staff. I don't like Nick Sirianni. I think Hurts is better than the average Joe. Those are my opinions, and the Eagles have helped us this year. But we've also bet against them in the right times. I really should be putting up a box around the Philadelphia Eagles and say, don't touch them unless they're on the road with a +6 and +7. That's how we made our money with them earlier this year. But Chargers should win this game. But I was worried about the film against the Patriots. And the Patriots do have a good defense. Patriots have a better defense than the Eagles. But what Herbert put out there on the field, what the Chargers offense put out there on the field wasn't good enough. And this Eagles defense isn't the joke the stats say it is. Some weeks their offense was so bad that their defense would spend the whole game on the field. And of course, that would steer the stats to a different direction. My instincts are clobber the Chargers, but my head keeps getting in the way, making me hesitant. It is what it is, man. This is from Uncle Jay. Lawson, what are your bets for this Sunday? I like the Chargers and Raiders. Jay, you will find out at 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to have a good week. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Yeah, Detroit got us all last week. It was embarrassing. It was something I was embarrassed about. Even my dad was teasing me about it. You live, you learn. But he's still teasing me about when I put Chicago +10 against the Saints in the playoffs a few years back. So it happens. No one remembers the victories. You always remember the losses. This is something I wanted to talk about. This is from Darian Dyson. Lawson, do you like the under bets for first half this week? Rams, Chargers, Cowboys, Browns, Bills. You'll have to write those out for me. But I have been looking at team totals and over-under totals. I'm thinking about adding an extra video to the mix. Yes, thank you. Smash that like button. Thank you, Mr. Villavegas. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Smack that like button. Okay, let me get to more Patreon questions. Then we'll get to YouTube. Thank you guys for being patient. This is from Aldad Ronan. Hey, Lawson, thoughts on this 3-team parlay? Chargers +2.5. Yeah, but like we said, the Chargers do have a little bit of risk involved there. 49ers money line, Browns money line. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it should hit. But knowing this league, one of those games isn't going to hit. Knowing this league. If I had to subtract a game from that, I think it would be the Browns. I like what you're thinking, 49ers money line. Makes perfect sense to me. Chargers +2.5 is good on fundamentals. But I am telling you, my man, I am a little bit worried about Herbert. I am just a wee bit worried about him. I want someone to come on here and calm me down about Herbert, but I haven't been calmed down yet. I watched that Patriots game last night, my guy, and just a little bit nervous about him. I know you guys are going to say Belichick against a young quarterback sometimes lost, and you got to toss that paper, toss that film, and put it in the garbage. Like, I get it, and you can't take 1 week too seriously. I was severely disappointed. And I was watching that game live, and Herbert and just that whole offense really got under my skin. And then secondly, I had to go back and watch the all 22 to see how bad it was. And it was really bad. Herbert had lots of guys open. The Patriots pass rush wasn't all that great. It wasn't like it was a legit pass rush coming at him every play, hitting him. Pass rush wasn't all that nasty. And yeah, and someone in the comment section saying Herbert's body language was iffy. Like, bro, whenever you see that in this league, you got to get scared. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but especially with a young player, you do get a little bit scared. This is from Shea Garcia. Lawson, what's up, big dog? What do you think about the Saints Falcons under 42? The fundamentals say under the 42, right? I don't like it, though. I don't like it. And when I picked that game, okay, no, it was Bears Steelers is at 42. When I did the Saints one, it was at 41.5. I think it pushes towards over, my man. And first of all, rival game. Saints Falcons games are always crazy. We got a lot of people from down south on. They always tell us that's one of the most underrated rivalries in this league. So I think that game's going to pop off. There's still bad blood between these teams. Atlanta Falcons, they're going to put up yards, even against our Saints defense. We've been hyping the Saints defense up since week 1. They've done nothing but just add direct deposit money into our bank account. So there is no doubting the Saints defense here, but the Falcons can put up yards, and I think the Falcons offense will have a lot of time on the field. I'm not a Trevor Siemian guy. I've seen Trevor Siemian with the Broncos. I remember people were saying he was going to take over for Peyton Manning. Never believed that. I remember Trevor Siemian with the Minnesota Vikings, and I don't want to remember that. So that's where we're at, and I don't know if Hill's going to come back. And even if Hill does come back, can he even throw it? Have you seen Taysom Hill's deep balls this year? Wide open guys, they wait for it like a punt. That's just not good enough in this league when you're literally only asked to do 2 things: run it up the middle and throw it over 25 yards. So here we go. Let's get to the Patreon questions. No Limit Tau. Hey, Lawson, how does this parlay sound? Under 50.5 in Steelers versus Bears. Yeah. Chargers -1. Same opinion. Bills money line. Yeah. Bengals +7.5. Yeah, that Bengals game is a 1-score game, and they always play close games. Always. New England +3.5. Unfortunately, I have to go with it. I was feeling a little bit of that vibe for Carolina this week, but with Darnold banged up, maybe we might be getting Walker. We're getting Michael, the Carolina fan, on later, so we'll see what he says. Cowboys +1.5. Yeah, I like it. Ravens +3. Absolutely love it. I don't think my Vikings will come in with anything astounding, anything novo, so to speak. I don't think you're going to see anything special out of them. Under 64 in Titans Rams. Don't do that. Take that one off, man. Find a different one. There will be a play on Patreon you can add to that. I don't want to spoil it, but just wait till tonight to put that in. I don't like that last one. I was thinking about that one, but I listen, just too many question marks in that Titans-Rams game. It should go under the 63.5. It really should, but I always worry about Titans games. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, but sometimes you can slang some pretty good teasers. Like 2 weeks ago on Patreon, I did bet the 4-team teaser I posted, put like 400 on it, got 610. It was the same teaser I posted on Patreon. So but you're right. The payouts aren't as good for the risk, but I love the teasers. And I think the teasers help make the station big. Okay, let's get to, I want to see if Michael Mann wants to come on because we got a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions about that game. Let's see if Michael Mann wants to come on. Let me get my phone. Let's see if it wants to come on. I'm working on getting Marty still. Let's see. I think Michael Mann just sent me a message on. I'll reload the Patreon questions because some people come in late to post them. Let's see if Michael Mann is listening. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see if there's any more Patreon questions. Then I'll get to the live chat on YouTube. Thank you guys for your patience. This is from P. Lawson, I'm really high on Atlanta covering upsetting. P, I'm really high on Atlanta covering. And sometimes I'm careful with saying these things because we've won a lot of money on the Saints. So that means a lot of Saints fans start watching the show and then they get mad if you go against their team. That's not what this channel is. This channel isn't about taking things personally. And one of the main advice of this channel, if you walk away with anything from watching me yell into a camera, if you walk away with anything, you need to walk away with, first of all, don't bet your own team. It is numero uno rule. Even on Patreon, I told you guys, Vikings should beat a backup quarterback, right? Cooper Rush, right? They should beat him, right? But I told you guys, I'm not betting it because it's the Vikings. And that's why you shouldn't bet your own team. Sometimes you get blinded, and everyone has a little bit of bias in them, whether we like to admit it or not. I try to put the biases out on the table. And that was the same guy trying to remind me, Lawson, you have a lot of money on your Patreon. Bro, I know that. And I'm deadly serious about it. And I actually care about people. So, and last year, this year's a little bit better than last year. Last year, there were straight people paying like bills off Patreon. This year, it seems like the financial situation is a little bit better in the country. So I am a little bit calmer, but the winning weeks are still there. There's a lot of winning weeks this year. So yeah, let's get this money. Yeah, this is I talked about this earlier, Zamora, but yes, I do think there's a possibility. But we all need to remember the Miami Dolphins are actually playing pretty decent football right now, and that Miami performance against the Bills was a good performance. It was their best performance of the year. Although to I, I, I'm not feeling the Texans upset, even though I want to see what Tyrod can do. And if he can help this Texans defense a little bit, anything can happen. Okay, let me get to the Patreon questions. Lawson, who do you think will land OBJ? KC, Green Bay, New England? I don't think Green Bay's got the gumption to do. I think Green Bay should be the place. I think Rodgers deserves 2 luxury targets. I'm a little bit worried about Odell Beckham's skill at this point. Saw him against the Vikings, saw him on Thursday night with Case Keenum, and I saw a lot of drops. And that is one thing that's a problem. And when he gets in 50-50 balls, like a lot of quarterbacks like forcing it to him deep, throw it 50-50, let's see what happens. He doesn't really make a good jump on the ball or high point the football anymore. I think the team to get him will be the Saints. Although the Saints have no cap room. The Saints really can't afford another dramatic wide receiver with Michael Thomas. But I'm starting to think, man, is Michael Thomas even going to come back? But if you give me a list out of that team, it has to be Green Bay. I just know they won't do it. I've been criticizing Green Bay for 6-7 years with the way they go about roster acquisition. People always say, Lawson, you're stupid. Stop talking about the Packers. No, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, one of the smartest people in this league, was sharing my opinion the whole damn time. So I'm glad Aaron Rodgers came out with, I don't like drama. I don't like that stuff. But also the Browns kind of deserved to get burnt by Odell Beckham. I mean, you kind of know what you're getting into. Like, sorry, like I have a big heart. I'm high in empathy. I'm high in sympathy for people. But like, it's like you're getting into a relationship with a person who's unstable, person who's a little bit wild, and then you complain when that person does the same thing they've done their whole life. And I don't have a lot of sympathy for the Browns on this one. I felt like they should have been more swift. They should have used a little bit more Texas justice earlier in this situation to get out of this situation. But also Odell's main point of contention, it might be Case Keenum gives the club a better chance to win. Odell's best game this year, the games have been really poor, but his best game this year was when Case Keenum was playing. And I think that's something that caused the situation to absolute burst. It's something that the Browns organization is scared of. I'm sure it started in the receiver locker room. And that's why Baker rushed back last week. And he played terribly. Let's get to the next Patreon question. And KC will be in the running. I wonder, I do hear people saying, oh, KC needs him. I don't know. I did say a few weeks back, the Chiefs were missing Sammy Watkins a lot. And it's an unpopular opinion because we know Sammy Watkins, he's always kind of disappointed. He's never lived up to his skills. He should be a baller. He should be a top 10 receiver in this league. Just never happened that way for him. But I, I could see the Chiefs rolling the dice, but does it really help them? I mean, I just feel like the Chiefs need to run the ball better and play a little bit better defense. And I think the Mahomes situation will fix itself. Um, Let me get to the next Patreon question. I'm getting to YouTube, guys. Sorry about that. Shea Garcia again, Ravens versus Vikings under 51.5. I don't want to touch that. Niners +3. Yeah. Raiders minus, I don't know, man. Raiders, I'm a little bit nervous about the Raiders against the Giants. Because I always think the Giants are eventually going to show up on offense, but they never do. And then Shay said, I put 700 on Canelo and the Usman fight. Yeah. Canelo's going to win. Usman's going to be a dogfight, though. I'm telling you, just don't count out Colby Covington. Timothy Lawson, what do you think about the Raiders Giants under? Solid, underrated D versus a team. Yeah. Let's see what it worked down to, because I remember it being pretty low. It's at 46.5. I would lean with the under. I'm not sure Daniel Jones shows up in that game. So I actually do like the under. Good find on that. All right, I need to get some water. And I'll see if Michael Mann or a guest wants to come on tonight. Think Michael Mann wants to come on. And if you want to come on, hit me up on Instagram. I think we got a few other people who want to come on. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, Tony, I'll get you on. I'm going to get Mike on first, and I'm going to get you on a little bit afterwards if you're still in the chat. So just let me know. All right, guys, I'll be back just 50 seconds. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Let's get this money. I'm really excited about this weekend. I'm just really ecstatic about this weekend. I'm looking forward to posting the bets on Patreon. They will be up 10 Eastern time tonight. Keep hitting the like button. And if you guys haven't, make sure you go check out the Week 9 Vegas spread videos. And I have a question for the YouTube chat. Have you guys been seeing my videos on YouTube? Have you been getting my notifications? Have YouTube been suggesting them in the same manner? It's just trying to get a poll, because either way, some people are saying YouTube hasn't been suggesting them. I'm not sure. So just make sure you turn on your notifications. I am curious about that. Here we go. Let me see if I got any more Patreon questions left. Then I'm going to get to the YouTube. One sec. Okay, here we go. Got the phone out. Okay. Let's get to makes sense. Oh, appreciate it, Erica. Appreciate it. Good. Thank you, my man. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, awesome. Good. Here we go. Let's get to Yeah, let's get to Jonathan Ramirez. I'm betting the house on the Falcons. That's bold. What are you going money line or spread? And I'm going to start getting the YouTube questions now. Awesome. Awesome. Argenis Pirella Rosales. Yo, Lawson, what do you think about the 49ers money line? Love it. Ravens minus 4.5. Yeah, and just I don't want to pause too much on this, but I doesn't that Ravens minus 4.5 sound a lot better than 6.5? Even though the Vikings are coming in walking wounded, there is always a little bit of curiosity with the Ravens because if you're able to stop their run game, you might be able to win the game, no matter how bad you play on offense. Because that's when the Ravens get desperate. The hard part is stopping their run. Rams -7. I like it, but I do fear too much money will be on that Rams -7. And the Rams haven't played good opposition in quite some time. And the Bears +6.5. I love it. I love the Bears +6.5. Thanks for letting me know, Marcy. Appreciate it. Tasha says Falcons choking fourth quarter. Wouldn't be surprised. Low bit rate. What does that mean? My videos. I'm moving to a new location next week, so we'll have better internet, better camera, better background. NFC never beat Lamar. I don't know if that's true. I'd be curious to see that. You're telling me he's undefeated against NFC teams in his career. I'm trying to think when the Vikings played them. Yes, yes. Thank you. Hit the like button so the algorithm. Yes, it's all about the algorithm. Life is one big algorithm and we're living in it. Um, let's get to keep sending the Patreon questions in. Sounds good. Sounds good, Mike. Sounds good, Mike. All right. So, are the Falcons a good money line pick? I don't think they're a good money line pick, but I I think I think with the spread they're viable. But you have to know what you're getting into with Atlanta. Don't expect an easy cover. Even if they're playing good, don't expect an easy cover. If they play good, you can expect them to cover, but just know your heart's going to be in your stomach by the end of the game and that they'll do everything to try to gamble away your hard-earned money. Like people laughed when I had the Dolphins +2.5. Sure enough, the Falcons made sure to lose by 2, so I was able to cover. That's just a little bit of the Falcons in a nutshell. This is from JJ Croc. What's up, JJ? Betting the house on the Chargers? No, I want to. It was my first instinct. And that's why I come on and I always do the Vegas spread picks Tuesday. Yes, I like getting it up early, but I like getting my thoughts out there. I like getting my base instincts before I put it on Patreon. The whole week is like a journey. But my base instincts were to pump it on the Chargers. I calmed down. Yeah, they do need Ridley because against the Saints, they hit you so hard every time you go to catch the ball. You're going to need a good slot receiver just to be able to reel it in. Luckily, that got that nasty tight end Pitts. He's nasty, man. Okay, here we go. Antonio, so what are your favorite underdog covers this week? Um, Underdog covers. I haven't seen how many people are betting the Bears Steelers. I haven't seen any data on that, but that could be the one or the Falcons. The Falcons aren't an easy team to bet, even with 6.5 against the third string quarterback. They just aren't easy. So I'd imagine it might be the Falcons. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't think he was undefeated. But either way, that's a damn good record against the NFC, bro. That is a pretty heavy record. Okay, let me get copy. Yeah, I think we're gonna end up going a full 2 hours. I mean, I was kind of tired this week, but We're gonna go. We're gonna go the full time. We're gonna go. Okay, let me get to Michael Man. Hey, Mike, I sent it. Oh shit, I got a lot of emails now. Okay. Okay, here we go. Thank you guys for joining on Patreon. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Okay. Reefer Sutherland. Oh my god, that name was so funny. What you think about Texans plus 10.5? Yeah, I do like the Texans, but you're gonna need to get it up to 10.5, maybe even like 7.5 if you wanted to be conservative. But yeah, Bengals plus 7. Yeah, Raiders plus 6.5. I'd if you're adding teasers with those type of values, I would stay away from that Raiders one. But Raiders plus 6.5 should be good, but that's going to be about that has to hit for you. Let's just be honest. David Gascon, hey bro, get up and get some exercise. You're going to die of a heart attack. Well, it's hard to do when it's 40 degrees out every day. But yes, I will be walking on the beach, getting sun every day, and I won't be having a heart attack. You'll probably have a heart attack before me. Never had most of health is genetic, by the way. Since you want to play smart guy, most of it is health. My grandpa lived into his 90s. My grandma lived into her 90s. My other grandma lived into her 90s. Okay. I'll die of a heart attack. Lawson, let's get into an angle in this Dallas-Denver game. Who you like? Well, of course, you like the Cowboys to win, but of course, the main question is Denver going to be competitive? And I think they will be. But as you have seen with some of these teams, they're so bad in this league. It's hard. It's hard to judge it. It's hard to judge it. I don't think the Broncos are that bad. Like the Broncos aren't the Jets, even though we like picking on them. They really aren't the Jets. And with the Broncos, one asset I really like on them is the offensive line, and I love their receiving core. And I feel like the Broncos are on it. I get why their fans get hyped. Let me just say that. I get why Broncos fans get hyped because you got a big, nasty offensive line and you got 3 dogs at wide receiver, yet you have no one who wants to give those wide receivers any sort of service, any sort of good throws. And that's where the Broncos are at. And their defense is overrated every year. Look at how much people hype up that Broncos secondary, yet they can't cover anyone. Now they don't got Von Miller to bail them out with the good pass rush, but I think that's good. I think this team needs to change schemes defensively, and I don't think Vic Fangio's the guy going forward. Even with all that being said, I think the Broncos come out and they're competitive. I think they're able to run the ball and keep Dak off the field. And you wonder if Dak's injury was so serious to miss Minnesota, that Minnesota game, how will his health be? Maybe they were just looking past Minnesota. Maybe they knew they could beat him with Cooper Rush. Who knows? Who knows? But that's where I'm at. Blase, 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 blase. Okay. Here we go. Let's get it. Let's get it. People are asking my best bets. I post them on Patreon. But my 2 best I don't want to spoil anything, but one game I think people are sleeping on. Let me go to a game I think people are sleeping on a little bit. I probably won't have this on the Patreon, but you got to think the Patriots minus 3.5. And I'm not a Patriots better. I'm not a fan of betting them. But you got to think that should come good for them. And Mike, I sent the invite. I'm gonna get Tony on after. Hey John, the Falcons will not stop Calvin Kamara with that 3-4 defense. I believe you, and you're right. But you can do 8-9 man fronts. If you feel very confident against Simeon, and if Simeon's not able to push the ball down the field, I think Kamara can be stopped. Like, don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying. And if they had Jameis, I wouldn't even worry about it. Because at least with Jameis, he can do play action, can make one read deep, hit the tight end underneath with a strong arm and with force. He can do that. But I got a question about Trevor Siemian, and I've never liked Trevor Siemian. I've never trusted Trevor Siemian, and I don't want Trevor Siemian anywhere near my team if they have playoff chances. All right, Mike, I'm getting you on.
Hey, what's up?
Mike, what's going on, bro? How you been?
Not a lot. Had a long day at work today. I worked a full 8 hours, so including actually doing some manual labor up there. So, been a long day. Glad to be home though.
Yeah. They say manual labor builds character.
Yeah.
So let me get into the first game, and this is one that has evolved throughout the week. So I guess we need to get your opinion on it. So my first opinion when I saw the +4 for Carolina and New England was to jump on Carolina. But as this week goes on, I don't know if Christian McCaffrey is going to play. I'm sure you're going to tell us. But as this week goes on, I'm moving more and more away from the Carolina Panthers. And then also my conversation with you kind of cemented that. The fact that we don't even know we're going to get Sam Darnold is a problem. And I'm not sure Walker's ready to play. I didn't like the film in the XFL, contrary to other people. Other people loved this film. I didn't. So that's where I'm at. Unfortunately, I have to go Patriots, and I don't want to do it.
I don't know. From what I've heard, I've been following the Christian McCaffrey situation pretty closely ever since he got hurt. I think there's a good chance he plays this week. I feel a lot more confident saying that he'll play on Sunday than I have in a while, because people have been saying for weeks that he could play against the Eagles, he could play against the Vikings, but this is the week where I'm actually buying into it. I've heard from multiple sources that they're going to at least have him out there on the field. He won't have 100% of the snaps like he's used to doing, but pretty much what I've heard is that we're expecting to see McCaffrey. As far as Sam Darnold goes, I think you'll agree with me on this. I feel like not having him out there is almost a good thing against the Patriots, because we both know Belichick knows how to take him down. And with PJ Walker, what PJ Walker can actually do, you don't know what he's going to do next, and he can actually make a run for it. And we all know Belichick actually struggles against running QBs.
He does, actually. And that's one thing people never put in the comment section when they're praising him. And then here's one factor I'm watching this game. You like Mac Jones more than you think Mac Jones is better than Trevor Lawrence, right?
This year, yes. I've been surprisingly impressed with Mac Jones.
And I keep waiting for him to break. And he broke against the Saints, but he didn't break completely. And you just wonder, man. I think Carolina's going to – I'm just going off the top of my head. I did not look at the schedule, but I'm probably not wrong here. I think Carolina will be the second best defense Patriots have played so far this year. Maybe I'm forgetting someone. And Buccaneers, you could say Buccaneers maybe are better. I don't know. Because Buccaneers don't show up every game. So this is going to be actually a tough defense, and I don't think they're going to be able to get away with some of the stuff. I don't think they will.
Yeah, okay, what matchup on the Patriots offense do they beat the Panthers defense in? Can you name one? Because they don't have the receivers who can get open against our corners. And whether they can run the ball is questionable. If the Panthers actually try to stack the box, if the Panthers actually try to stack the box and run against, and the Patriots try to run against them, I don't think that's going to work. Where's the mismatch here on the Patriots offense against our defense?
I think the Patriots run it, but I don't think they're going to be able to hit their tight ends. That's the problem with Carolina.
The thing with the Panthers is that they like to go a lot nickel to try to stop your receivers because they have so many good corners. But that leaves you vulnerable against the run. But against the Patriots, they don't have good pass catchers.
They got to go 4-4. They got to put Jeremy. That Jeremy Chin, is that his name? Jeremy Chin.
They got to put him in the box. They got to go for it. They got to, because they normally go 3-2-5 and try to play with that nickel stuff. They need to go full 4-3 in the box, bring Chin down, and just focus in on Damian Harris.
Well,
that needs to be your priority.
I like Because you should be using 4-4 Bear, and also to get the best out of Big Brown in the middle, you got to put someone in there to roll with him. Sometimes they just like isolate him, so he automatically gets the double team. Listen, we know they're going to give him the double team regardless, and that's good for Burns on the outside. But either way, don't make the double team easy. Don't.
Yeah. You let him at least try to get one-on-one.
Yeah.
At least attempt it. But
even with that said, I just think the Patriots pull off enough bullshit to win this by 10. Kind of like they did against the Chargers.
I'm with you because, look, here's my two things. I feel like the Panthers' offense is more likely to screw up than the Patriots are because, like, no matter who the quarterback is for the Panthers, you're going to get a stupid interception. You might get a fumble from Chuba Hubbard on the first drive like we had last week. Like, you're going to get some ridiculousness out of the Panthers' offense. The Patriots, they won't do anything sexy. But they'll be smart enough to just say, hey, let's hand the ball off 3 times, go 3 and out, and then just punt it back to our defense.
One question before we move to another game.
Yeah.
Do you think the Panthers, are they going to – here's what the Saints did. They did exactly what you said. They go 4-4, and then it's just one safety, Lattimore, man-to-man, all game, press. Do the Panthers have the cojones to do that? Because the Patriots might be able to hit a deep ball. Okay, they might, but you can't be scared about that. You got to make them play in a little box like the Saints did.
Well, here's the deal: they have played a lot more gutsy man-to-man than they ever have in my time following the Panthers. That's how they shut down the Saints' offense week 2, because they just pressed everybody and waited for the pass rush to get home to Jameis. Like, and if you look at the cornerback matchups, like pretty much everything favors the Panthers. Like, Stephon Gilmore, he's going to be on Jacoby Myers. What's he going to do against Gilmore? Dante Jackson, he'll be going against Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar drops like half the passes he gets thrown, even when he is wide open and just outrun people with his speed. Well, he's not going to outrun people with his speed on Dante Jackson. I don't even know who their third receiver is, but I just don't see the mismatch. And that's why
they don't have anyone who's good in the slot either.
Yes, and the Panthers, they should go man-to-man. That's what I expect.
I hope so, because you guys do play a lot of cover 3.
Yes,
I have.
That's our secondary call.
All right. So, any other games you're looking for? Let's just get to the Saints one because I know you're going to have an opinion. I mean, Atlanta, what is it? +6, +6.5 at the moment. Are you even curious to look at Atlanta to cover that?
Yeah. If Calvin Ridley were playing, I would feel a lot better about this game for Atlanta. But because of that, because he's probably not going to play, I just don't see where the Falcons get their points from. I don't see who gets the edge on that side of the ball on offense for the Falcons. And, to be honest, the Saints aren't that much better of a team, but they'll find ways to win. I think the Saints win this game, but there's going to be a day where Sean Payton can't pull off a miracle. And when that day comes, they're going to be a lot of trouble.
It has to come.
Yeah, I just want to say that.
Honestly, I've always hated him, but he's probably the best coach in activity at the moment. I mean, you could throw out McVay or Hoodie, but I'd probably go with him at this point.
I'm with you. I hate him, but he is an evil genius over there.
Yeah, and okay, let me get to another game. You might not have an opinion. We can just pass on this one. A lot of comments about Raiders Giants. You got any read on Raiders at Giants? Giants are like +3, +3.5 now.
Well, you said it in your Vegas picks, I believe, but I gotta know what the weather is because Derek Carr, he struggles in cold weather. That's been the thing. Yeah, that's been something that he's been known for throughout his career.
Remember when they lost to a really bad Jets team with the playoffs on the line?
Yes, that's a great example. I know they've always struggled against Kansas City in December, so he's known for not having good games in the cold. If it's like a nice 65-degree day out there, perfect skies, no rain, no snow, no ice or anything like that, then yeah, I feel pretty confident the Raiders can cover that. The Raiders have shown me no reason to pick against them so far.
It's going to be 56. It's going to be 56 degrees, 10% chance of precipitation. So it should be good, dude, for Carr.
Yeah.
And when's Daniel Jones going to show up? Like, okay, I like dishing it out, but I'll take it too. If anyone wants to ever really get under my cross, just bring up Daniel Jones because I actually thought he was going to have a good year. And listen, the offensive line I think it actually got better for him. It's just when is he going to actually do something in this league? And Saquon's out once again.
Yep. Daniel Jones does just enough to where the media doesn't crap on him. But I haven't seen him do anything exceptional this year. And to be fair, like, this is the Giants' fault, but their whole offense is injury prone. Like, they got Galladay on injured reserve. They got Saquon on injured reserve. Like, you have to see this stuff coming in the offseason, don't
It's
you?
a
Like, you have to plan for
retirement
this.
home.
Yeah, like, everyone there is just old, pretty much just sticking around just because they need a team. Like, if I'm the Giants, you got to try to rebuild this thing next year in the draft and start young.
Yeah, and I don't like Joe Judge. And I think
I don't like Gettleman.
I don't like Gettleman either. No one likes Gettleman, but at least Gettleman has good football instincts. Here's a Gettleman football instinct. I'll give you one. He brought Calvin Benjamin into training camp to turn him into a tight end. Good idea. Okay. I agree with it. Joe Judge runs him off 3 days into the experiment because he was taking food from the cafeteria.
He probably was. Kelvin Benjamin's a bum, dude. He's the laziest wide receiver I have ever seen. Do you know why Cam's shoulder problem started? Because on an interception, Kelvin Benjamin let the defender run right by him. And, of course, poor Cam runs down the field and chases him down and lands right on his shoulder. And that is the origin story of Cam Newton's shoulder problems. It's all thanks to Kelvin Benjamin, man. He just pushed him out of bounds.
Kelvin Benjamin, if we're talking one-on-one in the red zone, He's just rare ability.
In 2014,
roster spot,
and it has to be like an average corner on him. Like you can't put like Ramsey. If Kelvin Benjamin played like against someone like J.C. Horn or Jalen Ramsey or Stephon Gilmore, he would get clamped. Like I have no doubt about it. And I'm sure, to be fair, I'm sure playing with Mike Shula didn't help him at all. But he's not a good wide receiver.
Yeah, and Alex, my point is, how long can I just say the excuse is the offensive line? Because I said it during preseason this year. I said, if the offensive line is just a little bit better, I think they're actually going to be competitive. They're not competitive. They just aren't, even with how good their defense is. Like that Carolina Giants game, we knew it was going to be a garbage game from Monday morning because neither team really wants to play any football or do anything
Offensive
or even take risks during games.
Offensive football.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That was one of the ugliest. Oh, dude. These past couple of games from an offensive perspective, man, it's going to do some damage for a while on my mental psyche.
Oh, I'm actually happy the Vikings have a bye week this week.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm waiting for our bye week.
Yeah, I know, because I love football more than ever. It's just like after that Vikings Carolina game, I just hit a moment where I'm like, damn, this is not going to get better with this team.
And at least you guys won, though.
Yeah, it's always better to win. But
yeah.
How many wins? At least you didn't get beat by Cooper Rush.
Fair enough. We got beat by Daniel Jones.
Yeah. But
by like 22 points. It was horrible.
Yeah. And any other games you got to read on this week?
Yeah, I figure I'll just insert like my opinion on this. I know you've been like questioning LA and Philly, but I actually really like the Chargers. And here's why. So the Chargers struggle when you actually have a secondary that can be on them. And the Eagles' defense is better, but they're not the kind of defense that's going to go manning up everybody.
Because they just play cover two every play.
Yeah, and they're not going to get a whole lot of – if they don't blitz, they're not going to get a whole lot of pressure. So the way I see it, Herbert should have enough time to make throws, and these receivers should be able to get open against these Eagles corners. Because other than Darius Slay, I don't see anyone on this Eagles secondary who scares me.
You're correct. And just another question. You didn't get a little bit concerned with what we saw out of Herbert last week, or you kind of expected it?
I mean, that's Bill Belichick. Like, I'm not going to – if you play bad against Bill Belichick, I'm not going to raise an eyebrow there, you know?
Yeah.
Because he can pull off – go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, he pulls off miracles like that. Like, he did the same thing to Herbert last year when he beat him, like, 45-0. So, I mean, maybe he just has his number. Maybe he just knows how to beat that offense. But I'm not going to crap on the team because they lost to the Patriots. Because that's just the amount of respect I have for Belichick and Sean Payton as well.
But don't you feel the slide coming with the Chargers a little bit? after that
Yeah,
Baltimore performance, and then they got the bye, and then they come out and they get slapped by the Patriots after having a lead going into the second half. It just feels like a little bit of collapse coming. I'm a little bit worried.
yeah.
Like, if we're talking football, like, the Chargers should beat Philly no matter what field, and I don't think the weather is going to be bad there. I did check that today.
Yeah, and you're right. When you do go on a skid like that, it does hurt a team. Like me. I'm a Panthers fan. I've seen this song and dance for years, but we'll start good and then lose like 5 in a row. And it does do a number on you. But against the Eagles, there's no reason they shouldn't win this game, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I know you respect the Eagles at least equal to me. Eventually they were going to like win some games, and they're going to pull an upset because at least they got some dogs on the team. Any other games you're looking at this week?
No, I'm good. Those are the only ones I got. I'm not really looking to. There's not a whole lot that I feel super, super good about. In my opinion, there's a lot of like toss ups. Could go either way. Could come down to garbage time. So I'm probably going to stay out of this week. But
yeah, let's talk about one game. I did want your opinion on one. We got Titans +7.5 at the Rams. What are you thinking we're going to see out of the Titans?
Your guess is as good as mine. Like, what are they going to do? Because when they can't run Derrick Henry every play.
They got the dogs on the outside, but I don't think Tannehill can use them.
They do, and that's not how they do offense. They're not a pass first offense.
Yeah,
like, because even like from the offensive coordinator's perspective, you're used to calling 50% runs.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do when you have 40-year-old Adrian Peterson back there and you're handing the ball off to him? Like, can you adjust?
Adrian Peterson goes off?
What if he does?
Yeah,
I don't think he will. Against Von Miller and Aaron Donald,
he was pretty good with the no names though. It wasn't bad.
But that's Ron Rivera just handing the ball off every play though.
Yeah, well, that's what the Titans want to do. Okay, let me give you a thesis. Let me say something you can agree with it or not agree with it, because it's a different year, and frankly, we haven't seen the Rams tested enough to even say it's the right answer. If I'm playing the Rams, especially with this Von Miller edition, as much as it pains me to say, I would have to spread them out, and I would try to throw it on them. With Von Miller, that might not work anymore. But if you attack their depth in the secondary, I think that's the way you have to attack them. Because even if you look at their defensive line, Von Miller excluded, I do feel like they're more just like run gap guys other than Aaron Donald. So that's why I would want to spread them out and throw it against them. But with Von Miller, I don't know if that functions.
That's what I was going to say. How can you feel comfortable? For one, you got Jalen Ramsey on the outside, so that doesn't help. How do you feel comfortable throwing the ball not at Jalen Ramsey with Von Miller and Aaron Donald coming at you? Like, I just feel like you have to run the ball just to avoid disaster at this point with the Rams.
You do. And of course you're going to need to run it. It's just, if the Titans want their regular game plan with King Henry, I'm not sure they would be able to pound it. It's hypothetical.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much I just wanted your opinion on that game. And we haven't seen. Am I the only one wrong? I know me and you knew it was a big deal when Stafford first came there. Like, me and you knew that was a big deal. But I feel like I'm a little bit cooler on the Rams than other people. I love the Rams. I like what they're doing. I love McVay. I think Stafford was always slept on in this league for a long time. I'm glad he's finally getting some dogs to run with. But they haven't been tested this year. I know they beat the Bucs, but what other tough games did they have?
And here's the other thing. They've been playing crap teams. Like
really the last bad team.
Yeah, and they haven't dominated anybody. Like, when you go up against the Texans, I expect to see like what the Colts did to the Jets last night if you're the Rams. But I haven't seen like a signature dominant performance from the Rams this year yet.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
And yeah, so I get what you're saying there. And I got to ask you, are you expecting anything out of Jordan Love?
For the past? No.
Yeah. No,
I'm
me
not.
neither.
They don't have receivers.
Yeah, and they're saying they're getting like Lazard and Devontae Adams back, but I don't know if that really makes that big a difference. Like Devontae Adams does, but
though it should be noted the Chiefs' defense sucks. So there may not, like, if you're Jordan Love and you see that Chiefs defense line up against you, I don't know if there's many defenses in the league that you're more happy to have a start against than them. The only problem is you got Patrick Mahomes on their side, so you're going to have to score probably upwards of at least 26 points.
You're right, and that's one reason why I'm interested in that game. And I don't think this Chiefs offense is going to go the full year without getting into rhythm. I just want to say that. And this Packers defense is still vulnerable. Although I loved what they did against Arizona's offensive line, but I think I was right about Arizona's O-line.
I agree. They did look very good against the Cardinals. Are you worried about them now, especially with Murray hurt?
Yeah, because I don't want to keep using the same argument, but I've been saying it all week. Just look at last year when he did the ankle injury, and then he did the shoulder 2 weeks later because he couldn't run anymore. And then just look at the performance after that. And then plus this Arizona offensive line, I've been surprised. They've been able to stand up against that 49ers front. They competed with them. I don't think they got the better of them by any means, like some people were saying, but they were able to compete. I just don't think they'll be able to compete long term. And Kyler Murray, how much stuff can he pull? Like, I don't even compare him to Mike Vick. I have to go back and compare him to Fran Tarkenton because some of the stuff he does back there is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, his stats are like insane right now, and I think he's outplaying his stats at the moment. With some of the stuff, especially with like his passes downfield, like he's been a beast on that kind of stuff.
But because their separation isn't even that good.
It's not.
PFF has the stats. I'm just telling you from what I watched. Like those 49ers game, the kid threw 5 dimes in the first half.
Yeah.
That's like Brady Payton level. I'm not saying it's going to continue, but there were 5 dimes and they were being pushed down the field.
Yeah, and it's because most of their receivers are more jump ball guys. Like they're not guys who specialize with speed and separation, if that makes sense. I do think the Cardinals win this week, though, against the Niners. I know you had the Niners winning, but if Trey Lance were starting, I'd feel a lot better. I know Garoppolo played well last week, but the reason that first game was close was because Trey Lance ran a ton. And Jimmy G, I don't think is going to repeat that.
Yeah, I'm expecting it for different reasons. I think J.J. Watt out is the big injury of this game with Kyler Murray. I think J.J. Watt, we've made fun of him for a long time. I know you didn't participate in that, but I have. Let's be real, dude. If we're talking J.J. Watt in a run fit in a 3-4, he's about as good as it gets. If we're just talking against the run.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to hurt them a little bit. He's out as far as I know, right?
Yes, and I don't think he's coming back either.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to get it going. And this 49ers defense, they're actually getting better. You're always worried when you got Josh Norman against AJ Green and DeAndre Hopkins, but at least you encompassed something that at least gives him a shot. There's going to be jump balls. Last week he was beat. Last time they played, he was beat on them, but at least he was there. And I think he'll play better. But Josh Norman, you don't want him running after anyone. Can't run.
He can force fumbles, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Charles Tillman, he's taught him that peanut punch really good. He's leading all corners and fumbles right now. So
that might be my favorite play in the NFL, like coming up with the tomahawk chop, taking the ball. Like that's
that one that Darius Leonard had last night. Oof. That was nice, man.
You remember because you actually got to see Peanut Tillman up close because he did go to Carolina with Greg Olsen. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think he was there during our Super Bowl year. Yeah. We had like an average age of 40 in the secondary that year.
And you would play zone every play, but it wouldn't matter because the team was smart. But that's why you have to play man-to-man more in this league now because we just don't have a lot of elite veterans in the secondary anymore. I mean, we're getting good young players, but if you look at it, that position really deteriorated.
And there's too many plays that specifically exploit zone coverages now. Like before, you could actually get away with confusing people, but now you have like specific kryptonites for certain types of coverages. So against man, you can do pick routes, but even those are a risk taker.
If any of you guys play me in Madden and you don't disguise your coverages, you're going to get caught up by them. Yeah, like I've actually been back in Madden. I haven't touched it in 3 years, but I actually feel like this game is actually worth playing. I'm up to all Madden. I'm 5-2 with the Vikings on all Madden. The all Madden's much better. It's not as hard as it used to be. It's much better. So yeah, if anyone wants to play me on Madden, hit me up on Instagram. You don't play video games anymore, right?
Well, I don't own. If I owned an Xbox, I'd probably spend all day on it. And as busy as I am, that's not a good thing to get into.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah. Do you have an Xbox or PS4?
I got Xbox One. And
okay.
And my kryptonite is I like doing it during night, and that's even a worse kryptonite than during.
Yeah, I gotta open at 6 a.m. at work, so that's I can't pull that anymore.
That's not gonna work. All right. All right, I'll let you off, Mike. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Sorry I was on for so long, but thanks for having me.
Oh no, dude, we always like getting you on, and plus it's good because we get to see how you change week to week, and I know you watch a ton of film, so it's always good to have you, bro.
Thanks, man. All right, see you.
Have a good one, man.
You too, man. See you.
All right, we're getting to some more questions. John Daniel, Bears cover +6, yeah. Although you should be getting it at +6.5. Let me check the Vegas casinos now. Let's see what that's at. It's just updated now, so let's see. Let's see what that Bears one is. 1 second, guys. It's Monday night. 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. I do like the Bears. But yeah, Mike Tomlin's always dangerous. I'm going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm going to get to all the questions on the YouTube chat. Send them in now. So I have a ton to go through. And I'm going to keep going into the questions right now. Thank you guys for your patience. All right. Chiefs Brown teasers. I actually love the Chiefs in a teaser. I think with all the talk about Rodgers, Jordan Love, we're forgetting that the Chiefs need to win this game. The Packers, even with Aaron Rodgers throughout the years, they're not great in situations like this. And here are the dogs on the Packers to me. Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Jair Alexander, maybe Bakhtiari, although I think Bakhtiari is really overrated. Way more dogs on the Chiefs. And for me, when you look at this game, you got to look at the desperation level of the Chiefs. And Jordan Love's never gotten a shot in an NFL game. Never. We got to play, man. I'm naturally good at Madden. I can pick up a stick and play it after 5 years, 3 years, and crush people. We've had people who got crushed by me before. So hit me up on Instagram. We'll play, my man. I love it. Joe Young, why'd you trim your beard? Because when I'm in the United States, the people who cut my beard speak Spanish. I do speak Portuguese, but they don't understand Spanish, so they kind of just do what they want with the beard. So they give me like the Dominican beard. He left too much on top as well. But overall, yeah, man, I just got to trim it. I went like 3 months without shaving. I don't follow that no shave November stuff. Yo, Tony, I got you on Instagram. So I got to play you guys. Anyways, I like playing people who understand football. It makes it really fun. It's the best type of game when you play someone who understands football. Zamora, I'm not balling like you, bro. I'm on that Xbox One. I was trying to buy a PS5 or that new Xbox, and I couldn't find it. Just couldn't. And then I gave up. And then I'm like, I'm not paying a G for this. Like, I could honestly, like, I could have $1 million. I don't think I'd want to buy a PS5 for $1,000. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure you guys got that. I like gambling on Madden, $50 a game or more. Well, I used to take people's money in FIFA in college. That used to be my hustle game. Yeah, no, I want a PS4. Even the PS4s are expensive. I'm thinking about getting a PS4 before I do head back. So Tyler Tobin, let's jump on and talk bets. Yo, Tyler, send me a message on Instagram. I'll send you the link. Just trying to get through some questions. So I think I'm going to get Tony on. I'll get you on too. I'm just trying to get through some questions because I haven't did a lot. Jay Andrade, how do you feel about the Raiders +4? Jay, I like it. If we're talking -4, that's a different story. But if we're talking Raiders +4, I do like it, and they should be in that game. That game should be close in the fourth quarter, and they shouldn't be losing that by more than a field goal. Simply, they should be winning it. But the Raiders have let us down before. We know how that story goes. Thank you, Darian. Thank you, Darian. I appreciate it. The money chat. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Yeah, way back in the here we go. Good. Let's get you on. Let me see if I see you on Instagram. You can call me on Instagram as well if you have my Instagram. It's the easiest way to get on, then I can get your email and just send you it through an email. Here we go. We got some people. Here we go. Sure, I don't see you on Instagram. All right, I'm gonna get to some more questions. KC, our teasers breakers, be careful. You are right, my man. You are right. We've hit a lot of teasers this year, but they've been our kryptonite. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate it. Let's get that money. Let's get that money. Okay, this is from Darian Dyson. Hey, Lawson, Packers first half under 23.5. Are you going, okay, you're going game total. You're not going individual teams. Okay. So Packers Chiefs under 23.5 first half. If I had to guess at halftime, the score of that game would be 14-10, like 10-7, 10-3. I don't know if we got enough there to bet. Browns Bengals under 23. I could see halftime of Browns Bengals being like a 9-6 game, a 10-3 game, possibly more. Bills, Jags, first half under 24.5. Am I reading that right? Not sure. I think I'm reading this all wrong. I don't know how you're writing this, man. Okay, I'm going to go from back to front because I think that'll make more sense. Sorry about that. Chargers first half under 24.5. I would stay away from that one. I might actually go over on that Chargers one. Cowboys first half under 24.5. I would stay away from that as well. Bills under 24.5. Bills Jags. Now I don't like any of those too much. It's just the first two you put I liked. First two were really good. I could see the first two. That Bengals game going to under in the first half on that Packers Chiefs game. Packers Chiefs is a really good bet though, in my opinion, if you were to prognosticate about it, because at the very least, I don't think if Love plays good, I don't think he's going to play start hot. Like, is he going to just start in the first half, like going 5 wide receivers, slinging it all over the park? I don't think so. Alfredo Corrales, are Bills covering -14.5? I said they wouldn't cover last week, and I took a lot of heat for it. You always take a lot of heat going against favorites because you got people Like if the Texans don't cover, like you're the dumbest person ever. These when it gets over 10, it's more about math than it is about football and film. Bills covering, I would say they do cover, but the Bills aren't playing all that great this year. The record says it, but also the film says it. And why aren't they getting Stephon Diggs? And why aren't they getting Stephon Diggs the ball? Nick Curran's got Usman. Yeah, it seems like everyone's on Usman on this channel. For me, like that's too close to call, and I've been an Usman better for the last 3.5 years, even against my favorite Masvidal. You would think, right? And we don't know how the Jags are going to show up, but if you get blown out by Geno Smith, that's about as bad as it gets. The Jags just weren't ready to play that game. I don't like making excuses because you have to show up. You have to show up regardless. But the Jags really didn't even show up and put in any effort that game. Let me get to where did I put my soda, man? Damn. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Smash that like button. We're going to just keep rolling through the questions. I want to make sure I spend some time getting through the questions. Zamora says he got the PS5 on Amazon release day. Yeah, you did. It's good you didn't go out and sell it too. That's kind of lame. I understand the hustle, and I never like knocking the hustle, but it is kind of lame. But if people will buy it, they'll buy it, right? Ezra Keeper. I love Houston, Miami over 46. I did too, bro. I did. And now that Tyrod's back, I actually really like that one. I really do like that one. And the Texans defense, I've been saying they're better than people think. But Miami's defense, while they've looked better the last 2 weeks, Miami's defense has been a colossal disappointment. If you look at how much money, energy, draft picks they've invested in that defense, they just haven't played all that well. But you're right. One thing you're going to get out of Miami is turnovers. They've actually looked pretty decent in the last 3-4 weeks, believe it or not. They started the season terribly, but they actually look pretty decent in the last 3-4 weeks. The thing that's killing them is turnovers. And Tua's going to put 2 of them up, and you know what that does? That leads to points. Then you got possibly Tyrod Taylor. He should start. We did see that today. Don't believe it until like Saturday, though. Make sure you wait. But yeah, if Tyrod's there, I think the Texans' offense is going to be a little bit better. I think they're going to find more rhythm. Although that Texans offense doesn't have a lot of talent, Miami just makes too many mistakes, and Miami isn't good at rushing the passer. In order to get pressure on the quarterback, Miami has to send blitzes, and that doesn't always work in this league. It just doesn't. And some of their zone blitz schemes are predictable and sloppy. Colt McCoy? What are we talking about? Colt McCoy? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, Colt. Yeah, he's Arizona's backup quarterback. No, Kyler Murray is going to go out there and play. He's played through worse injuries than this. I do think the injury affects Kyler Murray, but I don't think it affects him playing. I don't think it affects it one bit. I really don't. I really don't. All right, let me get to some more questions. Thank you guys for the questions, and thank you guys for hitting the like button. Daryl D. Casser, you guys are in high school? No, long time ago. Isaiah Roser, how do you feel about Cowboys -3.5? Yeah, Rams -3.5. I think that's a good tease, an intelligent tease in a parlay. I like it, but in a parlay, I don't like betting too many parlays, but that's a pretty decent teaser. Why don't you guys go check out the over-under video? I put up the over-under video every week. You're going to get a better explanation on that video. Yeah, the over under video is always lit. Go check that out. That's one of my favorite videos to do. Demon Pozos. I know this is a dumb question, but where do you look at your lines for Vegas website? No, it's not. No, it's not, man. You should always be analyzing lines. And like when you guys ask me for advice, you say, well, which sports book should I use? Well, you should have multiple. And I'll explain why. This is the site I use, vegasinsider.com. And it updates the odds every 5 minutes. It gives you the opening line, it gives you the BetMGM line, it gives you the Caesar Sportsbook line, it gives you WinBet, it gives you FanDuel, it gives you PointsBet, gives you Superbook, it gives you every big casino, and you could see what the different prices are, and you can also shop around. Now, we don't live in Las Vegas, so it's not like we can shop around. Although Caesars does have an app now, I haven't checked it out. I'm not really interested. I go more offshore, and I never had a problem in that direction. But with offshore books, it's not the same thing as Vegas, and you always have to stay. Just how can I say it? Aware, have multiple options, make sure you're getting the best line and getting the best bang for your buck. And also be patient because sometimes these offshore books, they'll shift the line depending on how many people are betting, and they'll shift it a lot. On Sunday morning, I saw a line keep shifting back and forth. One time it was 3.5 for the same payout. One time it was 4.5 for the same payout. So just always be diligent about that. It wasn't a stupid question, my man. In my opinion, it wasn't. Odell's going to the Raiders. I mean, it would make sense. And what's up, Robert? What's up, Robert? Everything's forgiven. Everything's forgiven. With Odell going to the Raiders, I think it needs to happen, but I don't know if the Raiders have the stomach or the gall to take a risk right now. They got burned with Chalky. Unfortunately, a woman literally burned alive due to Henry Ruggs. So, got a lot going on there. They got burned by Antonio Brown last year. Is that really the guy you want in the locker room? I don't think Odell Beckham is that bad a guy, but I wouldn't want him in my locker room at the moment. The Raiders do need him. And Carr is an underrated leader in this league. A lot of players in this league respect him. I don't think he has Brady type gravitas, but Carr's definitely a good guy if you look at what everyone said about him in this league. This is from Derek H. Hey, John, do you like the Ravens or Chargers winning more this week? Are we talking covering or to win? If we're talking covering, Chargers. If we're talking to win, Ravens. Derek, I don't have too much hope for my Minnesota Vikings. Now, remember when we were able to take the Colts +7, +7.5, and we knew that was a money pick all week. It's not that same situation, but I do think the Ravens are more vulnerable than people think. Yes, we've won a lot of money on the Ravens this year. Yes, there's games where you should judge people by. That Broncos-Ravens game was a game you should judge your handicappers by. And I was right on that game. And I knew I was going to be right on that game. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't trying to be like too poetic or anything. I mean, dude, it was terrible. And I feel bad for both parties. Like I was looking at Henry Ruggs' face in that mugshot, and I just felt so much pain, man. Like, and I just wish he didn't go out at 3:50 in the morning. Like I used to be really, really wild, but I never went out after 2 a.m. in the morning. I just never understood the desire, and can you break down how you handicap your spreads? Firstly, a lot of it's instinct. Secondly, on Monday, a lot of times I'll look at the games and I'll handicap them myself. And a lot of the times they're close to Vegas. Sometimes they're far off. And normally the ones that are far off, they tend to be the best picks. Unfortunately, some weeks I'll be able to guess the spreads before I even see them. And when that happens, that's a sign you probably shouldn't be betting. That's why on Patreon, normally you guys know I get in my 5 bets. I like to give you guys 5. Sometimes it's 4. We're going to do 3 this week. 3 big ones, but that's what we're doing on Patreon. And I'm looking forward to it. There will be a 4-team teaser up on Patreon. Appreciate everyone who went on and subscribed. Really appreciate it. $5, not $1, bro. $5. It's only $5. One guy's just joined for $1, but anyways, I'll message him later. That's cool. All right, let's get our parlay's just not the thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of parlays. I always tell you guys, parlays are more of an exercise of the mind. And if you just look at the basic math of parlays, they're really bad. For instance, they say to land a 14 parlay, you have a 3% chance. And that's considering a very good bettor, someone who swings above 60% on their bets. And if you're not swinging really high on your bets over 60%, parlays have a very low chance of connection. You never lived close to South Beach. I actually did kind of. I lived 40 minutes from Miami. I didn't live in a glamorous place, but I was there to coach football. I lived near Okeechobee Lake. Yeah, it wasn't glamorous, but I had good football players. That's what I wanted. And I was teaching and coaching football. How much money do you think that pays to live in Miami, bro? And if you are living in Miami and you're not rich, you're not going to live a good lifestyle. Club opens at 4:30 a.m. Yeah, not for me, man. Not for me. That stuff's nuts, dude. And I hated seeing Henry Ruggs go to jail about that, man. There's nothing you can do. I like to defend everyone, but there's nothing you can do. Yeah, you guys are right. You guys are right. Miami's always open. Jesse, link is in the description. I think it's patreon.com/Lawson show. Your videos on YouTube. Here we go. Let me get to some more questions. I think I'm gonna get Tony on before we get off. Let me get Tony on. And then we'll have a good week. The bets will be posted on Patreon. Let's say 10 p.m. tonight. Look out for them. They will be up. We're going to be ready. We're going to be ripping this week. Really looking forward to getting this money. Thank you guys for coming on the live call-in show. Really appreciate it. Let's get another 30 minutes in. Let's try to get another 30 minutes in. My mouth is getting really dry, but I think there's some games we haven't talked about enough. I just feel like we're forgetting something, but maybe Tony can fill us in. All right, Tony, I sent the link. If you're still on, I just replied to the email I sent you before. What's up? What's up, Big D? How you doing? How you doing, Big D? Yeah. Normally, I don't expect you guys to form a parlay out of that. I do post the 14 teaser too. That's the parlay I like to exploit. Yeah, dude, I always need a Diet Coke, man. I do need a Diet Coke. I normally prefer Diet Pepsi, but here we go. Let's get to some questions. Because YouTube, the thing I don't like, I have to use Streamlabs. And Streamlabs, it filters some of the comments. So I can't see all of your guys' comments. And it's just something that is bothersome. And sometimes I don't get to see people's comments. So yeah, Nick, I did throw it out. Can you explain to us why we should take Oregon State over Colorado? Why the read? And I know points aren't as significant in college, but minus 10.5 is quite a bit. Can you give us some insight? Tyler, I want you to come on. I got time for both of you. I think I can actually send the link privately. I think I can. We'll see. I sent you the link in this private chat, but I don't think it'll show up on YouTube. All right. Let's get to some more questions. Yeah, and Tyler, send me a message on Instagram, man. It'll be easy to come on. Oh, you Instagram me? I'll get you because I sent an invite to Tony, and whoever gets on first, and the other person could just wait. So it'll be good. Okay, here we go. Let me get to request. It must be in request, right? Here we go. And Lawson Bets NFL. Make sure you guys follow me on there. Q Morgan. Okay, that's you. You're Q Morgan, right? Here we go. I really, once this podcast keeps getting bigger, I think I'm going to hire someone to work on me. Q Morgan at Yahoo. Okay. Here we go. Okay, sorry about that for that delay. That gives people time to get questions in. Set a link on IG. Got you. Yeah, it's tough, dude, because third, I'm worried about getting ran off YouTube. Even last week, I got a warning on my call-in show last week, and we didn't even say anything. I think the only thing I said controversial was that I didn't like Drew Brees all that much. That's literally all I said, and then and we got flagged. So that's why I was asking if you guys are seeing the notifications this week, because sometimes that happens with YouTube. The algorithm isn't too friendly. Yeah, Tony, come on. Either way, it's all good. DTs.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Let's get this money. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna just keep taking questions. Let's get to it. I'm not seeing them. Okay, let me just bring up the regular YouTube. Yeah, that's 129 likes. Appreciate you guys. Make sure guys hit that like button. Yeah. I should do Twitch. I do want to maybe try to experiment with Twitch and playing some Madden or FIFA. Yeah, so here we go. Here we go. I think any sort of live betting show would be awesome. It's just I'm just so intense in what I do on the weekends, and this is how I eat, that I don't want to mix work with play. And no, this kind of is like a job for me, but it's something that is honestly like fun to me. And I like doing a Patreon. I like hearing the reactions. I like the intensity. I like the fact that, listen, if I have a bad week, man, you guys are going to let me hear it. Pressure is necessary in life. Yes, you can't let pressure overwhelm you like Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen. But yeah, if you deal with pressure in the correct way, it can help. And I'm always trying to produce for you guys, and I have to produce for myself. I'm not going to go out and get a regular job again. That's just not going to happen. I have the opportunities, not going to do it. So, and I think this is why so many people, I have people who follow this station 3-4 years. We're just trying to get this money together and try to avoid doing things we don't want to do in life. No, it usually goes month to month. If you don't pay, Patreon will automatically like block you, and it'll make you pay before you can get back in. But normally it's automatic, it's just $5 a month to your card. If you have a problem getting on there, send me a message on Instagram. We'll work something out. Yeah, I see. Only $5 a month for Patreon. Only $5 a month. You know, and I think that's a good price. I could always go farther. Oh,
For you guys,
dude, what's up, man? Let me get my headphones real quick. One sec.
Okay.
Yeah, firstly, I want to say congratulations on that Steelers one last week.
Man.
That was a good call, man.
Yeah, man. That game was pretty nail biting near the end, but they did do a really good job. They did a good job. I was expecting him to come up with a good plan, and he did.
Yeah, and so I got to start with the question, man. What are you looking at this week? Is there a game you're excited about, you're waiting to bet, or are you
really the game that I'm looking forward to right now is going to be that because I'm a Saints fan. So, we coming off of that big win against Tom Brady, which was dope. It was a good win. I'm just really scared because I know my Saints, like, we have the tendency to fall asleep after a big win. You know what I mean?
And I'm worried about Simeon. Now, can you give us an update? Is Taysom Hill, is he going to be clear the concussion protocol, or is he
They're
out?
saying that there's an opportunity that he may be cleared for it. But again, I'm not sold on him being a quarterback that we can depend on,
Me
to
neither.
win it. In all facets of the game, if you want to be honest, I don't feel like he's going to be a quarterback that we can depend on to move to the playoffs in the second half of the season. I'm really hoping we decide to do something to get ready to get us in a better position for next year.
So you're a little bit nervous about Atlanta plus 6.5. I mean,
only because that's our rivals. Rival games Atlanta seems to get up for rival games against the Saints. Even when they were like 2-15, we were one of their wins. You understand? So it's just like, for some reason, I don't know why Atlanta gets up to play us, but I don't have the confidence that Atlanta's going to cover. I feel like I'm hoping we'll win, but I don't know. I'm really, this is a game that I may just either stay away from or try to do like a game prop. And that's what I was going to call you and ask you. Do you think that picking Pitts as a prop would be good?
What's the over under?
Over under, I think, is at 40. Let me look at it right now. It might be 40, 46 maybe.
Do you think the Saints are cold enough?
42.
Do you think Sean Payton and Dennis Allen are like, because Calvin Ridley's out, hear me out.
Right.
I'm just going to poke a hole in it because I think he's going over, and I think that's a good bet. Same thing with Gesicki against the Falcons. Like, I felt him going over too. So let me look at this. So in terms of Pitts against the Saints, what if Lattimore covers him one-on-one? I don't think it'll happen because Lattimore normally stays on the outside.
Yeah.
I just get nervous. Is there anyone who can really lock him down on the Saints?
I don't think so. That's what my thing is when it comes to being a physical specimen. Like, who are you? And the fact that Ridley is out. So that's one of your extra options out. So you're going to really have to depend on, he's going to have to be one of your playmakers. Him and I think Caldwell, I believe is his name, the running back, the receiver that they changed to running back.
Cordell Patterson, it's so hilarious, but he's so nasty.
I really feel like he's going to have a big game. I feel like he's going to have a big game. That's where I feel like the X factor is going to come in at, because I just feel like we're going to have an answer for him. And normally, for some reason, we're prone to big plays at the wrong time. So that's the game that I'm really, really nervous about. Plus, I'm a Saints fan. I don't like to bet on games when it's your favorite team because you're emotional and you don't want to, you're expecting something to happen. You really want to take your heart out of the betting when it comes to that. But yeah, that's the game that I'm really hoping to get a handle on.
Because luckily it's an indoor stadium, and I say this to say that. To lose to the Falcons, with how good the Saints defense is playing right now, they're going to need to do something catastrophic, and there will need to be 2 or 3 critical mistakes from the Saints just for the Falcons to steal it with how good this defense is playing. And the defense isn't going to – it's going to keep getting better. Cordell Patterson, prop bet, kick return.
There we go. And that's what I wanted to say about I forgot my man that came on earlier. I forgot. Is that who it was? He's a Carolina guy. Okay. And he was stating that he doesn't feel like the Saints and the Falcons are too much different when it came to like quality of teams. And I think the Saints defense is clearly better than the Falcons defense. You know, when it comes to as far as at least being able to win the game for you, the Saints defense can win the game for you, as it was shown against Brady. I don't think if you have to depend on the Falcons to stop anybody, you're in a bad. So that's a tricky bet.
Are you nervous about Trevor Siemian?
I am, but I'm not up on Trevor Siemian. Like, I didn't do my due diligence. I wasn't aware. I didn't even go to the depth of third or fourth to even know who they were. So that's why I'm not really up on Trevor Siemian at all. And so that's why I'm nervous. He appears to be a good game manager. He appears to be a good game manager where he's not going to do anything to lose the game for you. But I'm not sure how good he is at reading coverages and things of that nature when it comes to that. Or do you know how important this game is as being a starter for the Saints against the Falcons right now? This is a big game for the NFC. This is a really big game for our position in the NFC. And as far as us being able to set ourselves up for the second half of what to expect.
Well, and it is interesting because with Jameis, I know people weren't happy with the stats, but I actually felt like he was playing pretty good football. That's why the Trevor Siemian thing is a bit of a blow in the gut. But you were all right about Siemian. Unfortunately, he's really, really careful. He's like a worse version of Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
But maybe you could live with that because
yeah. I mean, we did go 5-0 with Teddy. I never was a big Teddy fan. I love the job that Teddy did. But again, I just feel like Teddy is not aggressive enough. Teddy has a great skill set. Teddy is mobile. We don't see Teddy move out of the pocket or anything when it comes to trying to make something happen with his legs.
He's got really good feet, really quick feet too.
I don't know if it's the fact that Denver won't let him go or they're holding him back. I don't see why they would. But that's why I was stating, even if the small chance that we got Odell Beckham, do we even have a quarterback that's going to be able to get him the ball?
No, and I don't want that because you guys already got burned with Mike Thomas. Say what you will about Mike Thomas, but he burned the Saints this year. Yeah. I don't want to go too into the dirty with it, but he really burned them. And with Mike Thomas and Jameis Winston, the Saints actually could surprise. And you saw against the Buccaneers what they were doing. Anyways, I think the Falcons come out with a late cheap cover, but the Falcons offense, they've been missing a lot. They've been playing pretty bad. I don't know if you saw how they played last week, but they were horrendous. Yeah,
they play horrendous, man. They play horrendous. That I did want to, before you let me go, I wanted to let you know that you told me to give Philly some points, man. That's what killed my parlay. I had a 7-legger, man. I had a 7-game leg parlay, and the Lions. I just had the Lions not to lose by 14, and they got their ass whooped.
Yeah, I know, and that's one. And that's when I hit Cincy before in Detroit, it was the same exact spread, same exact everything. And I don't know. And man, that was probably one of the worst picks I've ever had in my entire life.
Bro. That would hurt. That was like a 22K parlay. Like, oh God, I wanted that one bad. But
yeah, man, I felt it. I woke up like Monday morning, man. Like I didn't even feel like doing shit, man. Like,
my bad too. The Jets game. Did you told us to stay away from the Jets game? You told us to stay away from the Jets game. I'm hard-headed. I'm a degenerate. I'm a hard-headed and degenerate, man, and I bet it. And Mike White, I bet safe. I said Mike White will rush over 4 yards, and he gets hurt. He gets hurt.
I know. I didn't even want you guys betting that. That's why with Thursday night, now that we're up to like so many people on Patreon, now I got to start protecting people because like some people are saying it and like I won't even put out the hint. I won't even put out the hint anymore unless I'm betting. Normally that's what I do. I don't post the stuff on there until it's press button betted. So that will be the rule. I won't even flirt with stuff because Thursday night's ridiculous.
Yeah, man, I'm done with Thursday nights. I'm like 0-17 for Thursday nights, man.
I think you hit the Browns, though. That one was the only one I wanted to bet on the whole year on Thursday night.
Yeah, man.
Last year, the only one I wanted to bet last year, the only time I really got excited about that on Thursday night last year was Rams against Patriots. Like, other than that, there's not much.
I feel that. I definitely feel that, man. Do KC cover this week? Do they finally cover a spread, or do they just win money line?
I'm going with them to cover, man. And And I don't think they will. Like here, okay, your guess is as good as mine. There's a question though that I think you should take, but we'll work back
So,
to it. For me, man, when I'm looking at the Chiefs, I'm not in panic mode as other people, although I'm more worried about the defense than Pat Mahomes. And I do think the Chiefs are going to get another target. I do think they'll actually they'll get OBJ. I do think they'll get that. How much is that going to help? It should, but
that's a lot of offensive firepower.
Yeah. And I think you need
Wow.
to go
I didn't even think about
now.
KC being a landing spot for OBJ. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more either Saints or, somebody else that needs them. But that's a scary thought.
I don't want the Saints to do it because of your salary cap. And
Yeah.
you're just recovering on the salary cap after getting rid of Drew for so many years. He never took the Brady exclusive deals. Not trying to throw him under the bus. I don't have any problem with Drew Brees. But he never took those Brady exclusive deals, and he dug a hole for y'all. So I don't even think you guys can roll that dice.
You think it's so crazy? You said that last week, and I did want to just say what you had said. That was right, accurate. I do feel like Drew's a little bit bitter. I think he thinks the Saints weren't going to be at least even decent without him, or we were going to be, we want you back type of, some of his answers come across as, this is before me and after me type of a situation. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that we do something to get a better quarterback, man. I'm really hoping, something could go on. So maybe Russell
play for Sean Payton. Who wouldn't want to
Russell said he wanted to play for us. So I'm hoping Russell, decides to leave and we make a play. If we don't, I'll be very disappointed in them when it comes to that. But what was the question you was asking me? I don't want to take up too much time. I know other people want to get up.
Over under in the Saints Falcons game. Someone wanted your opinion on that.
I'm just worried about, I don't know, because our offense was stuttering before with Jameson. We were putting up it's not like we were offensive juggernauts with Jameson. And this is who gets the number one reps. So I'm just worried about our offensive output. I'm feeling like it's going to be more of a defensive game. I want to say over because I want to say over. I feel like it'll be something like maybe 24-17.
I went with over too.
Yeah, I want to say
Atlanta
over.
Gets something late.
Yeah, I think it's like garbage time late. And I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down to a last second field goal. Or if it's a battle of field goals, I don't know who they're going to go to for their offensive power if it isn't the guy that they switched from wide receiver over to running back. I always forget his name, but I like him. I definitely like him. I definitely do.
Yeah, and before you go, let me finish the thought about the Chiefs. Like, listen, it's never good. You'll see on Patreon what direction I'm going in. I don't want to give too many hits on that game. But yeah, Chiefs to cover, I understand that's risky, and especially with the 7.5 and knowing the Chiefs, they do everything not to cover. But man, I just don't think Love's going to get it going for the Packers. And then also when we look at the Packers, let's just go watch that Cards-Packs game again. And I know the stats weren't great for Rodgers, but I felt like that's pretty much the best game I've seen out of the quarterback, not through stats, just through every decision, every throw, hitting people's hands. And are the Packers going to get that? Do they have enough dogs? Devontae Adams back, but I think Jair Alexander's still out. Who's going to cover these dudes on the Chiefs? That's where I'm at.
I mean, I know, and you're right about that. Aaron really showed why he is a GOAT, not the GOAT, but is a GOAT the way that he managed that game. And it just felt different when you were watching it. The game that was going on, it just felt like Green Bay was in control. Like even when it was really super close, it felt like that. I don't know if Love can do that. I don't know if Love brings that same type of respect when it comes to it. But we just saw Mike White cut up Cincinnati for 400 yards, man.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Yo, and to this Damon France guy, he goes, "Well, I got it under at 42.5." I want it honestly.
I'm not
if the NFL was predictable, this game would be like a 23 Saints win. But the NFL just isn't. And that's where we're at some days.
I'm not mad at him saying under because, again, it's not like the Saints were putting up heavy points before then. But my thing is the Falcons score points at points, like at moments. They'll have moments where they look great and they'll put up numbers and then they'll give the lead up. Then that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be a fourth quarter game. I promise you it'll be decided in the fourth quarter. It will not be a blowout on either end. It will not be a blowout on either end.
And before you get off, you got to read on the Bears against the Steelers. Any read on that? Because you had a good read on the Steelers last week. I feel like I got a good read on this game, believe it or not.
I don't. You know what's the crazy part is? Justin is getting way better, man. Justin is getting like way better before our eyes. Like you see him visually getting more comfortable, more confidence. That run that he had with the spin off and the way that he ran that was because he's confident now. He's starting to become confident. But do I think they have enough to get past Pittsburgh? No, I'm going to give. Yeah. Huh?
What about with the +6.5?
+6.5? That's a lot. Wow. 7 points. Are they 7 points better? I don't think they're 7 points better. I think they're going to cover. I think the Bears are going to cover, but I think Pittsburgh will win.
I agree completely. And I just want to echo what you said about Justin Fields. I talked a lot about his game against the 49ers, and like a lot of people were giving me trash on the comment section. This is just the thing. Like I try to watch the games. I don't look at stats too much. I just try to watch the games. And if anyone watched that film and said Justin Fields didn't at least show a little bit of verb and bettering the team, then I don't know what to say.
I mean, you have to grade him with what he has around him. It's not like he's in a perfect situation. His head coach is I don't know. Did he graduate? Where did you go to? Did he coach at DeVry University? I don't know where the hell they found Nagy at, man. That is the worst. Like, he has to be top 5 worst head coaches of all time.
Well, Nagy's kind of a similar guy to Joe Judge with the Giants, but Nagy carried Big Red's towels in Kansas City, and Joe Judge carried Bill's towels in the Patriots. That's the best qualification for a job in this league.
Right. Well, at least Judge has the injury bug he can put it on. You're not even allowing Justin to be Justin in Chicago. Like you're possibly looking at a miniature Lamar in Chicago if you let him be him. Let him run, and then you can work on his reading. But you're not even letting the rings go. Like you're holding in a horse that you don't know what could possibly do. So I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, wanted your opinion about that game. Thank you for coming on, my man.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. Make sure you have fun.
Yo, thank you for coming on. Yeah, and with the NFL games, you can get them on. I just don't want to be kicked off YouTube. So send me a message on Instagram, and when I do see your message, sometimes I'm a little bit late, I will shoot you a link to some good stuff. All right, guys, we're at almost 2 hours, 20 minutes. I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to go. Those picks will be up on Patreon tonight, 10 o'clock. Thank you, guys. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. I want to be up to at least 150 likes. Let's get this money. Hit the like button, share the videos. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys.